Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, you are just so, so welcome. I wish I could be in person with you. Although not by choice, the virtual event is the first for CEO Global, and I believe it suits a great number of people as it saves a lot on traveling. And of course, no one have to watch their figures. You know, women always want to be prim and proper. So yes, we're going to make it happen today, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, I truly miss connecting with all of you. I have a passion for all of you. I love and I care about you. I am a people's person, and I love my continent and my people of the continent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the most amazing continent, our continent of Africa. I need to connect. I want to speak, and I want to be heard. I have a longing to be understood, to feel what others know. And I want to talk about our programs. Our programs, they are of the utmost importance to us. That's how we're going to grow and develop our continent, with our young, bright minds. I thrive by connecting with others in a physical, emotional, and spiritual sense. Yes, we're getting to the digital platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been quite a difficult time for me to really grab the concept of the digital era nowadays. But I can tell you one thing, I strongly believe COVID can't go on forever and ever. And I promise you, the first time available, I am coming to the continent to come and to visit you, and that we can touch again, that we can hug again. That's what life is all about, the touching and the hugging. Depending on technology, like we have to, seems a schlep, but it is a powerful and necessary tool. It's there to be used. We simply cannot be without it in this day and age. Why do we have the CEO Global Pan-African Awards? Ladies and gentlemen, other continents look at our beautiful continent, the continent of Africa, and they think, really? Can those people do what we can do on other continents? We can do even better. Let me tell you, my dream was to show the world that Africa is a continent to be reckoned with, to show we are not a dumping site of the world. We are simply the best. We have the best opportunities in this world. People from other continents can come, and we can teach them how to survive in this world. To show the world we are influential, and that we have millions of influential people that we see to. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa is called excellence. That's what we strive for. That's what we stand for. And that's why we are a very proud African nation. Throughout my years, I have come to love, to respect, and to realize that we have an abundance of influential leaders thriving for excellence. And I can tell you, I've met so many top executives. They started from the bottom, and nowadays, let me tell you, they top all the pops. The fact that you are here today as winners prove just that. You and all before you are equal, if not better than the rest of the world. Never, ever feel less. What does it mean to be part of the CEO influencers? It means that you have the right to be proud of your achievements, and I want you to pat yourself on the back. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Pat yourself on the back. The right to belong to the CEO network of influencers, where we promote that We can promote you. We can help you with investment. We can help you with ideas, leadership development, across-border trade, or to better yourselves through leadership or mentoring. Mentoring is of vital importance nowadays. It's not just for the younger generation. Yes, definitely, they can grow and develop through that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's also for the older generation. We have to renew, refresh ourselves more and more. We are a family where you can get just that. We are a family on this continent, this beautiful continent of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a passion for my continent, and I want you to help me build this continent and become the biggest and the best. On another topic, our program today covers the following important aspects for just those reasons. We are going to have a symposium as well on the 5th Industrial Revolution, Future Business Risk Landscape, which is very, very important, Africa's changing geopolitical landscape, and then of course, very interesting topic, future of money, and then something very close to my heart. We're also going to have a discussion about young, bright minds. Our young people are just going to go forward and forward, but it's up to us, the golden oldies, to help, to support, and to take them forward, and to introduce them to really powerful programs that they can follow. The points mentioned are exactly what will take us forward, irrespective of COVID or any other challenges that we may face in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we can overcome everything with a positive mindset. You can go miles and miles. I believe that you are the answer, the future and the revolution this continent needs to succeed and to become what God has intended it to be. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we can grow together. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to hand over to Dr. Raymond Patel. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to meet the most dynamic gentleman that I've seen in a long, long time. He's got knowledge. He's also sexy. You can look at him, you'll see. He's a great, great business leader, not just in South Africa, but across the continent and also the world. I thank you.
Dr. Patel, good morning and welcome here. To introduce you to our audience as such, Dr. Raymond Patel is going to speak on manufacturing and especially the fifth industrial revolution as we see it at this stage throughout the continent. The world and Africa has been fairly familiar with the talk and discussions on the concept of the fourth industrial revolution, but slowly and certainly the fifth industrial revolution is something that has almost arrived silently. What is your view on the difference between the two, or let's say the main differences between the two?
I think, Carl, it's so important for our viewers to understand and comprehend the different phases of the Industrial Revolution. Now, as Africans, we speak about the fourth Industrial Revolution and we tend to academicize that Industrial Revolution. We want to bring in a whole economic, social, and academic debate, wanting to unpack all of those. I think it's imperative that we first understand what the phases were. Now, the first phase of the Industrial Revolution, the first Industrial Revolution, was about steam. You can imagine what a revolution that was when we started having steam engines moving forward and no longer having a donkey and a cart transporting people. the emergence of a railway line in the 1800s in the UK. That was that revolution. The second revolution was all about the electrification. So how production improved, how the quantification of production, mass production beginning to take place. The third revolution was about the Internet of Things and personal computerization. The fourth revolution was about big data, was about artificial intelligence, was about robotics. And the 15th revolution then incorporates all of that. But it brings one new element to it, the humanity. How do we begin to interface with humanity? Now in Africa, we've got a very good approach towards humanity. And we simply call it Ubuntu in South Africa. Different parts of Africa, we take care of people. People first, Batupele. This then becomes the essence of a fifth industrial revolution. How we ensure that there's an interaction between machine, artificial intelligence, and people. Now, as strange as it may seem, that the fourth industrial revolution is about machines replacing people. I simply put it to you. When you and I were young, we saw a woman sit in an office and type vociferously, madly, onto a typewriter. Immediately thereafter came the personal computer. Did it replace the typist? No, it didn't. Did it enhance the skill of the typist? Yes, it did. She now was taught Word, Excel, PowerPoint, presentations, and everything. So your level of skill increases as technology advances.
Great. Dr. Patel, if we take this further, what is driving the emergence of the fifth industrial revolution?
As I said to you, the fifth industrial revolution is really about moving and looking at a number of things that has been present in the fourth industrial revolution. Now, it will look at encouraging economic growth and structural transformation. What do I mean by that? In recent years in Africa, we've seen that IT has started taking a center stage. And people think that the fourth industrial revolution is about information technology. That's the third industrial revolution. It's the things coupled with the fourth industrial revolution. But at the same time, what we've seen is that in sub-Saharan Africa, the economy has grown with the emergence of the fourth industrial revolution by $144 billion. What does it mean for governments? It means that about $16 billion of that $144 billion becomes taxes that we can transform lives. It means that people have access to information much quicker and easier than they've done in the past.
Okay.
Right.
There are often concerns expressed around the future of humans in the workplace, and I think you have answered some of that. What do you think we need to do as business people to ensure we have productive roles and a place in this growing world of technology?
It's a very complicated answer. It's not something I can answer you directly and say, this is what we should do. I think, firstly, as humans and as Africans, I would like to address a few issues. One is fighting poverty. Two is looking at inequality. Three, it's looking at skills, relevant skills for production in that economy. Three is increasing our financial services and capability. Four, it's modernizing our agriculture and agro-systems, for instance. Five, it's improving our healthcare and human capital. And looking at this, it's very clear that if you begin to look at the fifth industrial revolution, the centricity of the first industrial revolution, it's human interaction.
Great. Then if we look at equitable, ethical and social responsible world, or will we see ourselves drifting further away from these ideals, taking into consideration the fast pace of the development of IT and of new technology?
My response to that is, I'm sure you've read George Orwell's work on Animal Farm.
Correct, yes.
Now, I want to call it the Orwellian theory, that all of us are equal, but some of us are more equal at the end of the day.
Great. Then often it seems that with technological development, government around the world and in Africa tend to be slow in shaping how these developments can positively impact their citizens. What do you think African governments should do in respect of taking advantage of the fifth industrial revolution?
I want to give that a metaphorical answer, and I said it's humans and machines dancing together. Now, you must be asking me, how do you do the tango with machines? That's why I said it's a metaphorical answer. Let me unpack that. The whole thing about blockchain technology coming in, the whole thing about artificial intelligence and human productivity, how do we begin to merge those? And that is where when I spoke about earlier about the typewriter, the analogy about the typewriter, I want to see that how in a fourth industrial revolution, in the fifth industrial revolution in particular, how we get that interaction where predictive behavior through artificial intelligence, responses, machines, knowing when to respond, humans knowing when to interact. So that becomes the main thing. How do African governments get involved in this? I think it's a great opportunity for us. It's one that we should not leave. If you look at it, I spoke about agriculture earlier. If you look at agriculture for one, Africa has got the potential of becoming the bread bin of the world.
Correct.
We have the natural resources. We have the ground. We've got the vegetation possibilities. How do we then use technology to advance our natural resources to the betterment of humans and reducing unemployment and poverty?
At the same time, yes.
And inequality in our society.
We are thanking Dr. Raymond Patel for his talk on the fifth industrial revolution, and we are now going forward with the sectors, and we will start with the first sector being agencies and regulatory authorities, and thereafter another 7 sectors will follow, ending with chemical, pharmaceutical and petrochemical sector.
African agencies and regulatory authorities are in place to ensure ethical business practices and high standards. Economic growth and development are largely dependent on the direction given by this sector. The following regional winners play an integral role in this sector.
We congratulate the following regional winners who are pioneering leaders in their sector.
The regional winners for this sector are from Uganda, Ms. Musisi Semakula; Mauritius, Ms. Shahan Roy Ringadu; Egypt, Ms. Anissa Hasuna; Zambia, Ms. Miriam M.A. Shibaya; South Africa, SUZANNAH FARR; from Ghana, Ms. Sylvia Asana Dauda Au; and the continental winners for MIW in this sector are Ms. Shahan Roy Ringadu and Ms. SUZANNAH FARR. Also in this sector, regional winners for Titans Building Nations, from Kenya, Nicanor Sabula Omuka; from Uganda, Dr. Eli Tuneu Kamagusha; from Zambia, Mr. Shilufaya Peter Sampa. And the continental winner in this sector is Dr. Eli Choneu Kamagushia.
%70 of the African population makes a living through agriculture, making it undeniably valuable to the continent. The investment opportunities, nationally and internationally, associated with this sector make it a fast-growing economic contributor and community development tool. The following regional winners play an important role in this sector.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Kenya, Miss Elizabeth Tandi; from Botswana, Miss Tumelo Mpengula; from Mozambique, Miss Dercy Mariana Isufo; from Malawi, Miss Madalitsu Jelenje; from South Africa, Miss NONHLANHLA JOYE; and also from South Africa, Miss Makgomo Umla. And the continental winner in this sector is from this RSA, Miss NONHLANHLA JOYE. The regional Titan winners for this sector are from Uganda, Mr. William Luinda; from Rwanda, Mr. Clay Parker; from Sierra Leone, Mr. Pakai Kamara; from Cameroon, Mr. Roland Formidant; from South Africa, Dr. Martin Maboko; from Kenya, Mr. Cosmas Umwanda Oching; and from Zambia, Mr. Ferguson Sunday Miti. And the winners in this sector, that is the continental winners, are from Rwanda, Mr. Clay Parker; and from Sierra Leone, Mr. Pakai Kamara.
Both men and women contribute much to this sector, adding to the uniqueness of the artistic and cultural products of Africa. This sector is being used as an expressive tool to raise awareness about important community matters. These continental winners have played an important role in taking this sector forward.
The regional winners for this sector are from Mauritius, Miss Adila Boudala; from Egypt, Miss Mariam Hazem Sharif; from Egypt, Miss Hind Riyad Hela; from Zambia, Miss Agnes Ngambi Yombwe; from Tanzania, Miss Rebecca Elizabeth Yonkori; from Ghana, Miss Anita Pearl Ankor; from Nigeria, Miss Esther Adenrele Sanariwu; from Uganda, Miss Patricia Awe; from South Africa, Miss Zoe Dlamini. And the continental winner in this sector is from Mauritius, Miss Adela Budula. The regional Titan winners for this sector are from Zambia, Mr. Tahonga Tembu; from Uganda, Mr. Musuza Ederisha Kenzu; and from South Africa, Mr. Johan van Heerden. And the continental winner in this sector is from Uganda, Mr. Musuza Ederisha Kenzu.
Despite high demand, this sector is not yet fully meeting market interest, resulting in high streams of imports for this sector. Despite the challenges faced by companies in this space, our regional winners are taking it to new heights.
The regional Titans winners for this sector are from Nigeria, Mr. Itop Ikpa; and the continental winner from Nigeria, Mr. Itop Ikpa. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Uganda, Miss Pauline Korokundo; from Mauritius, Ms. Dani Kumari Esha Biswoondoyle. From South Africa, Ms. Hayley Eagle. And from Kenya, Ms. Margaret Wanjiru Kibeti. And the continental winner in this sector is Ms. Hayley Eagle from South Africa.
Industry is a vital catalyst for economic growth and social development. A safe, reliable and profitable aviation industry that facilitates business, trade, tourism and social interaction within Africa and beyond will be vital for future success.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Mauritius, Ms. Bhavna Munga. From Botswana, Ms. Khomoto Patsima. From Tanzania, Ms. Rosemary Simon Kashungira. From Uganda, Ms. Isabella Tustanovska. And from Tanzania, Ms. Joyce Wambui. And the continental winner for this sector is from Mauritius, Ms. Bhavna Munga. The regional Titan winners for this sector are from Ghana, Mr. Eric Alfred Bannerman. From Namibia, Mr. Rushwa Verengai. And the continental winner from this sector is from Ghana, Mr. Eric Alfred Bannerman.
Sustainability is a large focus of the building and construction sector. Participants in this sector achieve much in terms of going green despite limited advancements in alternative construction materials and alternative energies in this sphere. With sustainability as the foremost focus, the industry is taking time to get it right. Our regional winners in this sector have much work ahead of them.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Zimbabwe, Ms. Loretta Nicole Sibanda. From Ghana, Ms. Karen Evans Harm. From South Africa, Ms. Jabu Seriti. Also from South Africa, Ms. Eva Moncho. And again from South Africa, Ms. Belinda Collins. From Mauritius, Ms. Noor E. Naushin Aulibox. From Uganda, Ms. Batul Sabunwala. From Kenya, Ms. Rachel Patience Mulondu. And from Cameroon, Ms. Tim Immaculate. And the continental winners in this sector are from Ghana, Ms. Karen Evans Harm. And from South Africa, Ms. Belinda Collins. There was no regional winners for this sector for Titans Building Nations.
This sector is one feeling the African brain drain most acutely. Participants in this sector are the unique, mostly multi-skilled Africans who have remained on African soil to provide professional services, which are needed by the majority of the continent. We thank participants in this sector for their contributions to society.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Natasha Parmanant. Also from South Africa, Ms. Nadine Keita. From Egypt, Ms. Zainab Hegazi. From Ghana, Ms. Esther Amba Numaba Koba. From Nigeria, Ms. Funke Susan Medden. From Kenya, Ms. Mary Mutuni Murihuki. From Mauritius, Dr. Vanisha Rayesur. From Uganda, Ms. Annette Ahembisibwe. From Zambia, Dr. Pamela Mambwe Nakamba Kabasu. From Egypt, Ms. Rainia Ayman. And from Ghana, Ms. Betty Enyonam Kumahor. And the continental winners in this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Natasha Parmanant. From Egypt, Ms. Zainab Hegazi. And from Mauritius, Dr. Vanisha Rayasur. The regional title winners for this sector are from Kenya, Mr. Samuel Kiruri Gichuru. From South Africa, Mr. Wahid Adam. From Zambia, Mr. Bongani Bwembe Kumar. From Ghana, Mr. Daniel Abdul Karim. From Uganda, Mr. Laban Muwungwe. And from Cameroon, Mr. Frank NGUEKAM. And the continental winner in this sector is from South Africa, Mr. Wahid Adam.
The advancement of the chemical, pharmaceutical and petrochemical industries is largely attributable to Africa's mineral resources and pharmaceutical research opportunities. Our regional winners exemplify some of the best this sector has to offer.
The regional Titans winners for this sector are from Egypt, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, and from Zimbabwe, Mr. David Alfred Norman. And the continental winner in this sector is from Zimbabwe, Mr. David Alfred Norman. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Tanzania, Ms. Divya Malsata. From Rwanda, Ms. Kazi Gege Buki. And from South Africa, Ms. Matsediso Marota. And our continental winner is from Tanzania, Ms. Divya Malsata. We want to say thank you and congratulations to every continental winner in this sector. And we are now moving forward to Phumulani Ncube for his talk. I'm introducing Mr. Phumulani Ncube, African entrepreneurial landscape expert. Phumulani, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a few questions that we would like you to answer. And the first question is, there's no doubt that 2020 has been a tough year for many entrepreneurs across the globe as such. Do you think the coronavirus pandemic has been harder on African entrepreneurs than their counterparts across the globe?
Thank you, Carl. I'll probably say it's a triple yes to the question. So firstly, I think the coronavirus is just exacerbated the inequalities in our economies. So firstly, I think in the African context, most of our entrepreneurs, they're used to face-to-face contact with their clients. So because of the pandemic, we've had to change to a more remote access to clients. But because in Africa, our connectivity is not at the levels that we are with the economies in the first world, we've taken a knock on that. And also, we don't have the mechanism set up, the payment systems. For example, if I own a spaza shop and I want to go online, how do I go about it? That's the one side of it. People will come and say we can develop apps to do that, but apps cost money, and the volume that goes through, for example, a spaza shop sometimes doesn't warrant using a payment system. So how do you deal with those challenges? So it has had a major impact on the SMMEs in the African continent compared to our counterparts in the first world, where they have the ability to change and adapt because they have the facilities and they have the IT technology to do so.
Great. Then there's been a lot of talk over the last few months about entrepreneurs having to pivot away from existing approaches, as you've said, face-to-face to now new approaches, and also finding new ways of doing things to survive. It's often a lot easier said than done. That's the first thing. Yeah. Do you think there are certain business models that are more suited to this type of thinking and activity than others?
So look, I think the word pivot, people like to use the pivot, it's an easy thing to do, but pivoting is very hard. So firstly, if you own a business and it's got assets, and for example, you're in the manufacturing or for example, road building industry. Now COVID came, you couldn't operate from your premises. You got the massive equipment that you have and massive asset base. How do you pivot into another industry? That's the one side of it. You've got all this cash invested in what you currently have. And secondly, for you to pivot, you actually need the capital to do that. Where and how do you find the capital to do that? So yes, it's easy to say you can pivot, but the logistics of doing it. And also it's a case of an industry. If you're in the retail industry, if you're a face-to-face business, it's easier to pivot, to go online. But you need to have the skills to do that. You need to have the infrastructure. You need to have the capital to do that. But certainly, yes, people have had to pivot to a different business model. If you look at the school system, for example, I think COVID made us realize that you can actually have a learning system where you don't have to have face-to-face contact, and it forces us to do that. So certainly, people in the education industry, people in the retail industry have been able to pivot, and certainly sometimes the entertainment industry has had to revisit how you do concerts, for example, with scenarios where you had a concert on TV, where people almost on a pay-per-view basis. So I would say there's businesses where you can pivot, and there's businesses where it's very hard to pivot into that thing. Yeah.
Great. Do you think the hard-hit entrepreneurs have taken during this period will in the long run dim enthusiasm for entrepreneurship?
Not really. I think COVID brought opportunities. I think people, despite the COVID, people made millions and millions. I'll give you an example. I think Amazon recently hired probably close to 1 million extra people onto what they have because the business is suitable for that. And people who develop apps have actually done well because there's an opportunity to move people from physical businesses. So I think entrepreneurship hasn't dimmed. And I think Africa, there's still an opportunity because we're still behind the curve in terms of e-commerce. I think it's a brilliant opportunity for entrepreneurs in that space, in the delivery space, in the retail space, using e-commerce. I think there's a big opportunity for that. Yeah.
Great. One of the challenges that have existed within the African business environment is the large multinational corporations who often crowd out local entrepreneurs by virtue of their sheer size and access to resources. Some of our market analysts are suggesting that within the African context we are going to see an acceleration of this trend based on the weakening of entrepreneurial competition because of COVID-19. Do you think this is a realistic and serious threat? And if so, what can be done about it?
So I always jokingly with my friends say, I think South Africa sometimes we straddle the line of wanting to be capitalist and wanting to be socialist. So if you want to be capitalist, you say, get entrepreneurs to develop programs, projects or businesses that work for the people. So for example, if you look at an Amazon, you can't say it's been a force for good. The fact that they've done so well and they've gone so big, we can't blame them. It's the same in the South African environment. I think Takealot has been taking a lot of flack because they've grown so big, but they're doing a service to the community. So you gotta say, you're a capitalist, yes, but you can't be a socialist at the time. So that in that nature, it allows for big business to grow. And in the South African context, I mean, in any industry that we are in, there's always the top four. If you look at the network industry, you've got the big two service providers. The banking industry's got the big four. The retail industry is the big four. It's just the nature of capitalism that in a sector you will end up getting 4 or fewer players because there's economies of scale. Otherwise, the market is not being efficient if you got smaller players because you're not giving the best value to the consumer. Because you always got to bear in mind that the consumer is the ultimate winner and have the debates about monopolies at a different level. Yeah.
Great. It seems that for many entrepreneurs, the worst is not over yet. And as business moves from a liquidity to a solvency crisis, do you think there are still some difficult times coming, and what can be done to manage these? And I'm asking this question particularly, as we've said, there were some people that just could not pivot.
Sure. So, I mean, there's a saying, I'll try and get it right. I think it says profit is vanity. It says turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. I think in this environment, that saying has become more true. I think you basically need to be constantly having the cash in the business. You might be a profitable business, but if your clients are paying you in 90 days or in 120 days, you need the liquidity to pay your suppliers. You're not going to survive. So I think certainly it's highlighted the need to have better payment cycles. But I'm glad government is committed, which they've been committing for a long time, that they're going to pay their suppliers 30 days. And I see there's an initiative done by 50 corporates who've said they're undertaking to pay their small suppliers in 30 days. Certain those initiatives will help the small businesses to have the liquidity that they need to survive in times like this.
Great. If you were approached by a group of young entrepreneurs tomorrow morning that will be making a business pitch to you, what would you be looking for in their ideas or business models, especially in this uncertain times going forward?
So again, it brings to the earlier point we talked about why we end up having the dominance of one sector in an economy. So if I was looking for a business, number one thing, I want to see if the business is scalable. I wouldn't be interested in a business that's going to be a business that only is a local business, or you're selling in a suburb or only in a particular province. You got to have a business that's scalable locally and internationally. I want to look at the management team to see what the expertise is, because I think one of the glaring things that come out is that people get involved in business and they don't have the intricacies of understanding what the business is all about. And certainly you want to look at a business that has a very strong e-commerce interaction with the clients. I think we've realized that if a business is purely fixed on a physical contact, when times like this happen, how do you change, how do you pivot? So for me, I would invest in a business that's purely focused on face-to-face interaction. I think certainly e-commerce has to be a strong part of any business that I want to look at in the future.
Great. In your own business and investments, how have you coped with the challenges, and what are the lessons you've learned?
So our business was basically premised on enterprise and supply development, where we develop entrepreneurs on behalf of corporates. And our model was to basically take a group of entrepreneurs and take them through a program where we do physical interaction and do physical lectures. Now, COVID happened. We couldn't recruit the entrepreneurs. We couldn't carry out the lectures. So we've had to adapt and say, how do we build a sustainable business? And the future of that clearly is having to go online. And whether it's recruiting, you're recruiting online. Whether it's the lessons, you do it online. Whether it's interaction with the ultimate client, you got to do online. And also helping SMMEs that long gone are the times where you take a physical invoice and you take it to your client. You got to be able to do these things seamlessly via email and be able, and more importantly, your client must be able to tell you where in the process your invoices are. Because I mean, I did a transaction a while ago where one of the global companies were able to tell me your invoice is now sitting at account, it's been finalized, the payment is going to come on such a date. And I think we need to get to that levels where we seamlessly integrate into the IT systems of their clients and vice versa.
Great. Something else, change is a certainty, and especially during these COVID times and the uncertain times that's lying ahead of us. Now, if we look at entrepreneurs or young entrepreneurs in specific fields as such, what would you suggest they do to make sure that they remain or that they develop to such a stage that they can change? What is the essence that they should keep in mind when they start out with businesses now, so that they don't get caught up and being unable to pivot?
I think one of the things that we realized in taking entrepreneurs through the programs, that people have an idea what the business is about, but they don't have an idea. And everyone will come and give you what you call holistic projections. Everyone's, I'm going to start a business today, my turnover is going to grow 20% year on year for the next 5 years. They never actually sit and say, what is it, how do we stress test this business to see what could possibly go wrong? And I'm almost sure in all the projections that people propose on their funding, no one ever saw a scenario where the whole world will get to a point where it's a shutdown and you don't have a business. And certainly I think the one thing that I encourage entrepreneurs is you must stress test whatever business you're in. It might be a fantastic opportunity with all the possibilities. You need to stress test to say, if this thing goes wrong, what could possibly happen? Literally got to a point where what is the worst thing that could happen to my business for me to shut down, and actually go about addressing that issue? Because we've seen that worst case scenario can actually happen, and it has happened, and there's no guarantee that you're going to have a future where the same thing is going to happen. In this instance, it was more on a health side. In future, it could actually be an IT issue. What happens when one day we wake up and there's a complete meltdown on your IT system or particular? And we've seen companies who've gone for 30 days where they haven't been able to operate because their IT systems have been hacked. So for in that scenario, you need to realize that even as a small business, where is your backup of your data? Keep it in different sites so that if one site is a problem, you can actually go to the other side. So stress testing your business is, for me, it's a very imperative thing. Yeah.
Phumlani, last, not so much question, few words of wisdom. How would you encourage entrepreneurs on the continent?
So it's a funny thing. I think we romanticize the idea of entrepreneurship. Having gone through it, it's a fantastic field to be in, but entrepreneurship is hard. We've seen people lose families, lose marriages. It's a hard battle, but having said that, once you've made a passion about doing these things, it's a very rewarding. I think for me, every day is a different day. You see different personalities, you meet different people. It's a fantastic thing to be in it, but also, more importantly, you got to realize some people are not entrepreneurs. When you get to a point where you realize you're not an entrepreneur, move out and go to the thing. The worst thing you could do to yourself is think you're an entrepreneur and keep getting knocked and knocked and knocked until to a point there's nothing else to knock. But I don't know where that point is, but you got to know it yourself. But it's a fantastic field to be in. Yeah.
Phumelani, thank you very much for spending time with us and answering us on some of the African entrepreneurial landscape, I would say pitfalls, but also the positive of it all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
Phumelani, thank you very much for your talk. We are continuing with the next 8 sectors, and we want to start off with education and training academic, and the next sector we'll end with is media.
Thereby highlighting its importance, many Africans do not have the means to receive academic education and training. The following regional winners have worked tirelessly to move this sector forward despite the challenges they experience.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from South Africa, Professor Rachel Jessica Singh, from Uganda, Ms. Josephine Asege, from Tanzania, Advocate Rosemary Jotam Mukama, from Zambia, Dr. Alice Pirishemi, from Ghana, Dr. Angela Kwatema ACHEAMPONG, from Mauritius, Professor Manta Debbie Naubuth, and the continental winners are from South Africa, Professor Rachel Jessica Singh, and from Mauritius, Professor Manta Debbie Naubuth. The regional Titan winners for this sector are from Botswana, Professor Oching Aoe, and from the DRC, Professor Patrick Mobambu. And the continental winner is from Botswana, Professor Oching Aoe.
Skills transfer and development is becoming a more accessible manner of education throughout the continent. This sector is empowering much of the African population. The following individuals have made a major impact in this field.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Zambia, Ms. Karen Chinquita Kumakanga, from Botswana, Dr. Onalena Sahitu Khokwe, from Uganda, Dr. Jova Bayarugaba, from Ghana, Ms. Afia Bobia Amanfu, from Nigeria, Ms. Abisola AZEZAAT Longe, from South Africa, Dr. Linda Meyer, also from South Africa, Ms. Lochamal Ramia, from South Africa, Ms. Lee Harrison, and also from South Africa, Dr. Veronique Jenica, and from Mauritius, Ms. Samira Koirati. And the continental winner in this sector is from South Africa, Dr. Linda Meyer. The regional Titans winners for this sector are from Mauritius, Dr. Nitin Esu, from South Africa, Dr. Tavendran Isaac, and from Zambia, Mr. Caesar Siakasha. And the continental winners in this sector are from Mauritius, Dr. Nitin Esu, and from South Africa, Dr. Tavendran Isaac.
Financial services have been flagged by governments as an important service that should be accessible to all. Although not all Africans are making use of financial services, organizations in this sector can be a valuable factor in financial planning and avoidance of debt, making a great contribution to our economies in the long run. We applaud these regional winners for their immense contributions.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Swaziland, Ms. Lomakosetife Chabalala; Namibia, Ms. Anya Moerman; Zimbabwe, Ms. Edna Mukuraziza; Mauritius, Ms. Rinu Likunt; from Kenya, Ms. Nozipu Makoba; and also from Kenya, Ms. Gladys Karuri. And the continental winner in this sector is from Swaziland, Ms. Lomakosetife Chabalala. The regional Titans winners for this sector are from South Africa, Mr. Willem Nauta; also from South Africa, Mr. Walter Don; and also from South Africa, Mr. Kaya Kobodo; from Kenya, Mr. Ezekiel Macharia Mburu; and from Tanzania, Mr. Augustine Philip Ntomela. And the winners in this sector are both from South Africa, Mr. Walter Don and Mr. Kaya Kobodo.
Employed officials of government have changed the face of the public sector in recent years, working tirelessly to make this sector a point of skills transfer and opportunity for many. It has become an important sector to prime growth in various African countries. The regional winners are to be thanked for the vast impact that this sector has made.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Nigeria, Ms. Dorcas Ebun Ayiboi; South Africa, Justice Mahube Molemela; from Malawi, Ms. Maggie Muntali; from Mauritius, Dr. Nalini Devi Lukiniarain; from Mauritius, Ms. Linda Kokshan; from Seychelles, Ms. Annie Rosie Bistuquet; from Kenya, Dr. Purity Kitiru Kitonga. And the continental winners for this sector are from South Africa, Justice Mahube Molemela; and from Kenya, Dr. Purity Kituru Gitonga.
Technological advancements within the information communication technology sector have made connectivity throughout the continent much more accessible. Although a shortage of infrastructure is still apparent, there is a rise of technology accessibility in major cities. Recognition of the following regional winners is a result of the work they do to take our businesses and communities beyond physical borders.
The regional Titans winners for this sector are from Cameroon, Dr. Alois Mbala; from Uganda, Mr. Morris Kabuye; from Uganda, Mr. Vincent Matsiku; from Namibia, Mr. Calvin Munizwazwa; and from Ghana, Mr. Nicholas Bortey. And the continental winner is, from Ghana, Mr. Nicholas Bortey. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Kenya, Ms. Lara Jacqueline Gatoni Wamunyu; from Nigeria, Ms. Neku Atawodi Eden; from South Africa, Ms. Mamokete Ramaiti; from Zimbabwe, Ms. Pufunga Shamanga; from Uganda, Ms. Sherifa Tumishimi; and from Cameroon, Ms. Charlotte Horore. And the continental winner is from South Africa, Ms. Mamokete Ramaiti.
Infrastructure limitations cloud the success of the logistical sector on the continent. Although there are difficulties in this respect, logistics have advanced rapidly. We applaud the following regional winners for taking this sector to new heights.
The regional Titans winner for this sector are from Uganda, Mr. Africano Alinaitwe; and from Egypt, Mr. Zahid Aldesuki. And the continental winner in this sector is Mr. Africano Alinaitwe from Uganda. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Madagascar, Ms. Fazila Akhtar Tajou. From Egypt, Ms. Manar Rushdi Abdelrahman Mohammed. And from South Africa, Ms. Lisa Vandenberg. And the regional winners for this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Lisa Vandenberg.
And engineering industry is one full of potential. With the growth of and ever advancing African communities, demand is on the rise for locally manufactured goods. We salute the efforts of our regional winners in this space.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Kenya, Ms. Ruth Mwanzia. From Uganda, Ms. Hawa Muwanga. From Mauritius, Ms. Mari Valerie Roshkust. From Zimbabwe, Ms. Farai Marisa Kasese. From South Africa, Ms. NTHABE ZANELE ZONDO. And from Ghana, Ms. Noble Catherine. And the continental winner in this sector is from Zimbabwe, Ms. Farai Marisa Kasese. The regional Titans winner for this sector are from Zimbabwe, Mr. Narottam Somani. And being the only contestant, the continental winner is from Zimbabwe, Mr. Narottam Somani.
Media is an important source of income generation and job creation throughout Africa. It is expected that this sector will grow steadily as investors from across the globe look to opportunities in Africa's media organizations. The regional winners have contributed to the continuing success of this sector.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Grace Mlimu. Also from South Africa, Ms. Farah Fortune. From Mozambique, Ms. Eunice Andrade. From Mauritius, Ms. Lalita Devi Jungi. From Cameroon, Ms. Makang MIREILLE. From Kenya, Ms. Teriana Shibet Sherutish. From Zimbabwe, Ms. Tsitsi Madoda. From Uganda, Ms. Nancy Kashungira. From Uganda, Ms. Triza Tira Kungu. And from Mauritius, Ms. Aisha Bibi Ali Moshaheb. And the continental winners in this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Grace Mlimu. Also from South Africa, Ms. Farah Fortune. And from Mozambique, Ms. Eunice Andrade. The regional Titan winners for this sector are from South Africa, Mr. Nicholas Dull. From Ghana, Mr. Prince Akpa. And from Uganda, Mr. Emmanuel John Musaruka. And the continental winner in this sector is from Uganda, Mr. Emmanuel John Musaruka. We want to thank all the winners and say congratulations to them, and we move on to the next part, which is Dr. Patel on Africa's manufacturing future. And right after that we will go further with the sectors, starting from medical and veterinary services right up to wholesale and retail. Great. Now many countries, most notably China, have proved adept at harnessing technology to advance their manufacturing sector. Do you think the opportunity exists for African countries to do the same? And what would you say should be done? Taking into consideration the African countries are really from near to first world to totally rural. And for everybody to get a chance at this development.
My answer to that is, can we emulate China? Yes, we can. What does it require? It requires, firstly, the legislative framework that has to be in place. It requires the will of a government to be in place. It requires the embracement of technology. It requires a conducive atmosphere that has to be created, a competitive, conducive atmosphere that needs to be created by governments for people. Now, looking back at China, if you look back at China 30 years ago, China was probably on par or behind South Africa. I'm taking South Africa as a country. Look at China today. Its advancement came from re-engineering, taking Western products, re-engineering those products, but begin to innovate. What kept China away from innovation before? It was simply its domestic, legal, or legislative policies, where it did not allow Western world products or films to be shown. For instance, sci-fi. And when it allowed sci-fi to be shown on their TV screens, kids started becoming innovative. Innovation led to productivity. Productivity led to an economy that almost dominates the world today. What's the lesson for us as Africans? We have to start improving our schooling. If you take Africa in comparison to the world, only about 4%, only about 10% of our people graduate above a university qualification. In school leaving, and in particular females, do not reach a grade 8. About 40% of them do not reach grade 8. They drop out. Then we lose them further before we get to matric. Then let's look at technical education. China has embraced technical education. China is one of the world leaders in TVET education, TVET and primary school education. We perceive technical vocational education and training as a substandard education. It's meant for people who are intellectually less endowed. What we've got to do is ensure that we have an ingenious, innovative technical education. And through a technical vocational education, we begin to drive an economy. So what I'm simply saying, that we need more technical vocational education and training so that we can enhance a digital economy for our country.
Right now, the perception is that the fifth industrial revolution is also the explosion in big data, and that this is also used for good and for bad. The bad part has raised serious questions around the issues of trust, and there are many concerns around how information, all types of personal information, are going to be used in future. There's currently a trust deficit when it comes to top technology and how it is exploited. Do you think the fifth industrial revolution is going to make it better or worse, especially in the light of the false information, which is now said to reach around about 75% on the internet?
No, I don't think so. As I said, the fifth industrial revolution is not coming, it's with us. It is that we've got to look at the big data, use of sensors, machine learning, that could advance our country, that could advance our continents, our continent in particular. Applying artificial intelligence for personalized reason is a very good thing. It's not intrusive. And I guess where we begin to panic in Africa is we begin to see artificial intelligence, big data, robotics, mechatronics and so on.
Access to health care is said to be a basic human and animal right in Africa. As our population and animals are an irreplaceable resource to many economic sectors in our continent, it is important that both receive good care when ill. The contributions of the regional winners in this sector are to be commended.
The regional titans winners for this sector are from South Africa, Mr. Jerry Silwani. From Nigeria, Mr. Charles Yomi Ugongbesan. And the continental winner in this sector is Mr. Jerry Silwani from South Africa. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Kenya, Dr. Anne Shinaka Mulwa. From Uganda, Dr. Maria Nakioni. From Mauritius, Dr. Ashish Shamana. From Ghana, Miss Janine Donation. And from Ghana, Dr. Linda Decker. The continental winners in this sector are from Kenya, Dr. Anne Shinaka Mulwa, and from Ghana, Dr. Linda Decker.
Mining has been the bread and butter of Africa for many years. In addition to boosting beneficiation in the sector, work also needs to be done to improve sustainable mining methods and ensure responsible exploitation of ore bodies. The following regional winners are pioneers in this sector.
We congratulate the following regional winners in the Titans program.
The regional titans winners for this sector are from Ghana, Mr. Godwin Komi. There are no winners in the Titan sector for mining. The regional MIW winners for this sector are from South Africa, Dr. Patience Mpofu, and Dr. Patience Mpofu is therefore also the continental winner from South Africa.
The broad scope of this sector provides the opportunity to recognize individuals in various industries who operate independently and epitomize the entrepreneurial spirit. The finalists in this sector are commended for their efforts in growing the continent's economy.
The regional MIW winners for this sector also qualified to be continental winners, and the continental winners in no specific order are from Ghana, Miss Lucy Akua Keirede Kwanu. From South Africa, Miss Erna Basson. Also from South Africa, Miss Lindsay Dyer. From South Africa, Miss Nolene Kochan. South Africa, Miss Kabwe Mulolo Gondu. South Africa, Miss Siapai Makhocha. From Mozambique, Miss Uniki Piri. From Egypt, Miss Noreen Ashraf Farah. From South Africa, Miss Christine Siaglia. And from South Africa, Miss Babalwa Fatei. The regional Titan winners for this sector and also the continental winner is from Uganda, Mr. Alfred Brian Agaba.
The unifying value of sport is often evident on the continent. In addition, some of the world's leading sports stars are of African descent, helping the continent make its global mark. We thank the regional winners in this sector for the work they are doing in promoting sport.
We congratulate the following regional winners for their outstanding work.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Uganda, Ms. Hadija Namanda. From Mauritius, Ms. Lana de Morelos. From South Africa, Ms. Elizabeth Edison. And the continental winner is Ms. Elizabeth Edison from South Africa.
Although some challenges currently exist in this sector, the continent has a focus on educating African citizens as well as sending a global message welcoming to international travelers. The following regional winners are recognized for their rapid advancement of this sector.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Mauritius, Ms. Nadine Catherine Delphi. From Uganda, Ms. Joan Elsa. From Kenya, Ms. Anne Peggy Ashira. From Tanzania, Ms. Prema Lalji. From Nigeria, Ms. Umbugubasi Nsiobot. From Kenya, Ms. Tasneem Adanji. From South Africa, Ms. Wendy Alberts. And also from South Africa, Ms. Sandy Wood. And the continental winners in this sector are from Mauritius, Ms. Nadine Catherine Delphi. From Kenya, Ms. Anne Peggy Ashira. From South Africa, Ms. Wendy Alberts. The regional titans winners for this sector are from Ghana, Mr. Kelvin Nathan Ansong. From Nigeria, Mr. Christopher Ezekwe Udo. From Kenya, Mr. Dennis Wanjoy Gatitu. And from South Africa, Mr. Robert Hettam. The continental winner in this sector are Mr. Robert Hettam from South Africa.
A movement towards sustainable welfare is prominent throughout the continent and involves skills transfer and enterprise development, a far cry from the run-of-the-mill fundraising that was the norm. Our regional winners in this sector have all worked towards ensuring they achieve significant impacts on society through their work.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from South Africa, Ms. Yvonne Stichlin. From Cameroon, Ms. Nuchemu Simu Fadimuto. From Ghana, Ms. Christabel Datsi. From Uganda, Ms. Teddy Curran. From Malawi, Ms. Bertha Wakisa Chihutsa. From Zambia, Ms. Angela Mwamba Mianda. From Kenya, Ms. Diana Gichengo. From Tanzania, Ms. Sarah Matias Mponzi. From Cameroon, Ms. Maximilienne Ngome. From the DRC, Ms. Teresa Mema. From Mozambique, Ms. Andrea Masamba. And from Zambia, Reverend Mwawi Shilongozi. And the continental winners are from Ghana, Ms. Christabel Datsi. And from Malawi, Ms. Bertha Wakisa Chihutsa. The regional titans winners for the sector are from Kenya, Mr. Onesmus Mlewa Kalama. From Cameroon, Mr. Clovert Mbenja. From Mauritius, Ms. Krishna Atal. And from South Africa, Mr. Hedley Lewis. And the continental winners in the sector are from Kenya, Mr. Onesmus Mlewa Kalama. And from South Africa, Mr. Hedley Lewis.
This ever-growing industry creates employment opportunities for many Africans. It is vastly different throughout the continent due to the various demands of each market. Despite these variations, the sector is thriving and organizations are moving toward offering greater diversity to consumers. Our regional winners are playing an important role in this regard.
We congratulate the following regional winners for their outstanding work.
The regional MIW winners for this sector are from Kenya, Ms. Susan Njeru Wakabi, Rwanda, Ms. Janine Ukodu, Uganda, Ms. Juliana Kakwe, South Africa, Ms. Tracy Dramani, Nigeria, Ms. Ukur Ugochukwu Gift, and the continental winner in the sector is Ms. Tracy Dramani from South Africa. Congratulations to all the winners in the last 8 sectors that we've had. We've come nearly to the end of our program, and I want to welcome Annelies back to come and make known who the Lifetime Achievers is at this stage.
What a wonderful occasion we're having here today. Yvonne, talk to me, girl.
Yes.
What does it feel like to be a continental Lifetime Achiever? Talk to us.
It's very, I'm incredibly honored. I'm really elated and grateful to be chosen yet again for this very prestigious award. I mean, it's very elating, it's very humbling to be recognized among the leading parts in the African continent. It's very humbling.
Yvonne, thank you so much, and once again, congratulations. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Alfred, it's Annelies Weppener speaking. We would just like to congratulate you on being a Continental Lifetime Achiever. It's absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you again on the continent when we start to travel next year. Take care. Hello Molly, it's Annelies Weppener speaking from CO Global. How do you feel about being a Continental Lifetime Achiever? Talk to us about it.
Oh, I cannot believe this. This is a fantastic accolade for me, and I really appreciate it.
Molly, I hope you're going to have lots more accolades on that side. Thank you for taking my call. Hello Janet, it's Annelies Weppener speaking from CO Global. Tell me, how does it feel to be a Continental Lifetime Achiever?
You know what, I'm so humbled to receive this award, but I dedicate it to the one person who played the biggest role in assisting me to change lives in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's a true titan, and currently he's fighting the biggest fight of his life to beat cancer. But without him, none of this would have been possible. And also thank you to the entire CEO Global team for acknowledging our work. And we will not stop changing lives on our beautiful continent. I'm truly blessed and honored. Thank you so much.
Hello Dr. Anna, it's Annelies speaking. How are you doing?
Very well, Annelies.
That's great. Dr. Anna, how does it feel to be a Continental Lifetime Achiever? You've been chosen from the continent and, you know, out of hundreds of people. How does it feel?
Annelies, I'm just lost for words, but to say what you're telling me, I receive really with warmth and humility. And for me to hear that so many people have nominated me, really, it just makes me very appreciative of, you know, my fellow sisters all over, and the fact that, you know, and I'm really regarded as an elder now. But you know what it does, Annelies, it places a lot of pressure on me, because it means that what legacy is one going to leave, you know?
Yes,
in terms
very
of
true.
mentorship, taking others by the hand, and also, you know, when you're in a leadership position, it places you at a really precarious situation because you better make sure that you lead right, and you better make sure you do the right thing, you know, because everybody has got high expectations on you, and also leadership comes really with a price, you know, of responsibility.
Very true.
Yes, a spirit of caring for others and taking responsibility in the communities, socially, and also on women's issues. So it places a lot of responsibility. But however, having said all that, I receive this with great joy and humility. And I thank you very much, you too, Annelies, for your leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Anna. Take care. God bless. I just want to say congratulations to all our Continental Lifetime Achievers. You are all amazing. And always remember, we need to teach the younger generation, the young bright minds out there, to also become stronger and stronger, male and female. Thank you so much for attending.
You know what? You're never done. Well, when your control is great, work on your balance. And when your balance is great, strengthen your intuition. When you made that great, better your build. And when your build is strong, elevate your presence. When your presence is powerful, work in your dynamic. And when you're great at that, keep on working.